The group shrieks the words in unison. The cold is even. You decide to confer with the others on your next course of action. You ask Legol's opinion on what to do next, but he offers no more than a shrug and a grunt. You ask Polka's opinion on what to do next, and if I recall correctly, it was that way, he says, pointing to the northeast. You ask Trollus's opinion on what to do next. She munches. In fact, she has a whole armful. She hands you one, and the place is bitterly cold, but it is replete with trees and green. The group decides to go with Polka's idea for now, and sets off in the direction of what he thought was a village. Battle time. Monsters are hesitating for some reason. Take this chance to bring them down. You discover a village, however, the place is quiet. For caution's sake, you'd best keep your guard up if you're going to enter. Get him! To battle. The group enters the village. You can see traces indicating the place must have been inhabited, but no sign of any people. The place is still as death, a ghastly atmosphere hanging in the air. Legol seems to be frightened of something. Might he scare easily in places like this? In any event, you want more information. You decide to investigate the village. The walls are riddled with claw marks and recalling the subterranean village. Feel sick? Trollis asks. With your eyes cast downward, you spot what appears to be a scrap of paper with a drawing on it. This place must have been a weapon. No small number of them. You and the others give the distasteful shop a quick once-over and decide to be quit of the place. This place looks like it was an inn. Legol is clearly not in favor of the idea. We're not seriously going to sleep here, are we? Polka counters that, having argued down Legol's disagreement, the group decides to sleep at the inn. After getting a bare minimum of rest, you leave the inn. Within the small building, you find Legol says, You feel a bit of guilt at the thought, but as Legol hurries everyone along, Polka inspects the equipment. He manages to locate a scrap of paper with some kind of drawing on it. On the shelves, you spy a number of... Polka says that several of the items could be of use, so you decide to borrow them, minus the especially suspicious-looking ones. Upon the walls of the sturdy building, gazing at the writing, you reach out a hand to comfort him, but as you do, you spot a scrap of paper at his feet, with what having given the village a once-over, you decide to return to the inn ruin for the time being and review what you've learned. However, you don't have a clear, absent any other ideas. You take the scraps of paper you found. Looking at the images on the scraps, Polka realizes that they must have originally formed a single page. Huh? Trollis says. After taking a brief moment to collect yourself, you decide to take another shot at putting the scraps together. With the scraps assembled properly, they form what appears to be a map. Looking closely, something about it calls to mind a childhood memory for Polka. Polka stands dazed and unmoving. You ask if anything is wrong, but he's breaking the reverie. You reach for your weapon, ready to fend off a monster. But when you take a look, Legol's upbraiding brings you back to the moment, and you grip your weapon tight, ready to fight. beautiful. The monster-like thing's attacks are ferocious. Like darkness come to life. Trollis seems to be feeling the same unease you are in regards to the creature. You've managed to defeat the creature and hold a card aloft to seal it. It doesn't. Maybe this really isn't a monster after all. A little troublesome having to deal with all these The four of you decide to run for it. But when you turn, you find Steelborough soldiers blocking your path. Perhaps they're in pursuit of those responsible for killing everyone in the Senate. Legol clicks his tongue. The group decides that it would be better to take on the soldiers than to challenge the black creatures. The Steelborough soldiers ignore the thought of just running for it crosses your mind. But the soldiers are still people. You can't just leave them to die. The soldiers don't wait for your help. And Polka shouts his appreciation to the soul. They turn to look at you and Polka. They attack you this time. You manage to defeat. You question one of them. asking how many of them are pursuing you. In the next instant, the soldier is back on its feet and rushing at you. Legol turns to you. We shouldn't linger here. Abiding his suggestion, you decide to hurry away from the place. You decide to ask your friends what to do next. Nuterra's dangerous, Legol says. You can't deny the truth of what he's saying, given what just transpired in the village. Nonetheless, we should press on through Nuterra, says Polka. He is curious about the mark on the map, thinking of the Guru of Lightville and her claim that what you seek would be in Nuterra. Trollis waves her hands about vigorously, and with that, she indicates that she'll follow you. Fine. But I'm going. Polka looks carefully at the map and determines that the mark indicates a location north of where you are, between snow-capped mountains. You turn to find that you're floored by his hustle, but pull yourself together enough to offer a tiny wave in reply. The merchant's eyes are you recoil a bit, but are nonetheless glad to have the chance to do some shopping. To battle. As you forge on through the snow, the doll appears to be covered in dark red. The smell of all that blood is going to attract more monsters, the rest of the party warns. Someone must be missing it, you insist, and place the bloody doll into your pack. As you trudge through the snow, you hear a muffled. The next sound you hear is the crick-crack of a strained branch above your head. Uh-oh. The party leaps out of the way and it would have buried you if you'd... You look back at the pile of snow and pleased at their good fortune. Everyone tosses a bit of the fruit into their mouths. It's hard, but edible. how it's done? To battle. Beautiful. Sometimes you get lucky. Get lucky. Blood smell. With those words, a monster appears before you, nose twitching. There'll be no getting out of this fight. Battle time. Beautiful. There's no doubt about it. The blood, you'd better find its owner before it draws any more, even if it means leaving the doll by a corpse. The party silently watches as you place the doll back into your pack. Everyone knows what must be done. You spot a mound of snow too neatly defined to be natural. Is there something beneath it? You brush off the snow to reveal something frozen solid. You decide to pull it from the snow before your hands turn to ice, too. Whatever it is, it comes loose and it's filled with gold. Did people actually travel this route once upon a time? Get up. Beautiful. According to Polka, the place that the map marker indicates should be around here. You can detect the telltale signs of life nearby. Could there be a village? You notice telltale signs of monsters, too. To your surprise, the mark on the map looks like it's pointing to this village. It seems like it could be dangerous to approach. You say that you want to go into the village, but Legol stops. With uncommon zeal, Polka suddenly bursts out. He explains that the mark drawn on them, you truly do want to agree to his request, but it would be reckless to a fault if you just marched right in without preparing. The fairies you encountered on the end, so wouldn't that mean you could use this powder? You suggest to the others that you use, though reluctant to assume such a form. You're left with little other recourse. You and the others use the fairy dust and transform. Itralis certainly more pleased than Legol, who is rather less than. At any rate, the transformation has afforded you the opportunity to safely infiltrate the village, and you set off to do so. It looks like no humans live in this village. You can't hide your surprise that they live. Polka whispers into your ear, "Let's hurry and look around this place before they find out what we really are." The monster offers you a ball and says, "I'm much too noble. Couldn't throw me something more valuable," the monster says, tail wagging back and forth out of a desire to play. "Here, fetch," you say, throwing something from your pack. The monster returns quickly, something clutched in mouth, but not what you threw. "I'm so hungry." The Polka signals to you with his eyes to just. Itralis, however, takes the bait. "That's right," chatters the monster with delight. its joints crick. The monster running the weapon shop explains that they sell weapons stolen from adventurers. "You're not gonna win contest like that," one of them. When you ask what kind of contest it is, the monsters leap around and reply, "Jumping contest." With starry, lovelorn eyes, the sprite said, upon hearing the details from her, "You ha! As if," the monster snorts with laughter. The doors of the magnificent mansion, the monster says, "Spend all the time you..." The mayor looks at Polka in surprise and then narrows his eyes. Hoping to win the mayor over, Polka, the mayor, is apparently the credulous sort and is convinced. He offers a memento of his old friend. The monster running the inn can sing a tune so sweet it seems. "How about a nice rest?" someone calls as you approach the inn. The party takes leave of the inn, feeling rested and refreshed. After you enter the dimly lit, you ask if something is wrong. After taking a good look at you, the owner asks, "You don't especially want to help a monster." But Pulka convinces you by saying, "It probably wouldn't hurt for us to ingratiate ourselves to the locals." You leave the village and quickly undo the transformation. You don't find it terribly enjoyable to remain in monster form. There is some laboratory equipment in the building, along with a cage. Legol says, "We've looked around here. This ruin looks as though it may have been an inn. Unfortunately, there isn't a single piece of dishware to be found. There is a single word written in crude lettering on the wall. Help." Highly trembling, Legol said he's not wrong. You could be attacked at any time by one of those shadowy creatures. You all agree to hurry back to town. You use some of the fairy powder to change form into a monster and slip back into the town of monsters. The monster accepts the plate from you and immediately sets about preparing food for the pets. You hear the shuffling of feet on the floor as the hungry humans eat up. You're all very, very important gifts, the monster coos with a smile. You might want to help the humans, but it would probably be best to do so after looking around town some more. All the goods on offer have been stolen. Someday, the monster says, trembling all over. "What can I help you with?" the shopkeep asks. There are humans locked in the cages. You can't turn a blind eye to this. This is barbaric. The monster looks at you in surprise. "What you talking about?" You draw your weapon and brandish it at them. You've managed a clean victory. Your conviction is renewed that monsters are beasts. The people freed from the cages look terrified. "Well, now what?" says Legol. Your reply, Pulka agrees with your assessment. "Will be found." In a tiny voice, Legol replies, "Yeah, right." He looks out of the shop window and surveys the town. To battle. Sometimes you get lucky. Wish I could have eaten my fill one last time, the monster says, before issuing a particularly dry death rattle. Maybe poetic justice, the Yeti says. These words are its last. The monster lets out a clipped whine, and then lies down for the last time. At last, true rest, the monster says, before its eyes close forever. Battle time. We practiced so much, the monster says. They have hopped their last. Beautiful. I've already lost my body. I know when to fold, the monster says, before giving up the ghost. To battle. I'm going to die without my revenge, the monster says, its final words oozing out before it passes on. wish I could have seen him one more time. It looks like you've defeated all of the monsters in the village. You decide that there's no longer any need to remain in monster form. A giant monster stomps up to your group. The monster's teeth gnash in fury. Seeing you and Legol has jogged. Your eyes go wide hearing the creature's words. You remember that scar on its eye. It can't be. Was this... Never would you have imagined you'd run into this monster here. You grab your weapon and let out a guttural scream. You have a history with this one. You stand over the fallen monster, looking at you. The monster speaks in a soft voice. The scarred monster destroyed your home. And now, shut up, says Legol. He steps forward. You know you have to do this yourself. You've had your revenge. Yet the monster's words stick with you. Like a tiny Legol notices you brooding and speaks, his voice full of concern. The village mayor comes over, looking at you as though he wishes to speak. You decide to listen to the mayor. The mayor speaks in a quiet voice as he tells you how this town came to be. After finishing, the mayor hands you a key to his residence. He explains that the entrance to the ruins can be found. There is something there. He continues, now my duty is done. Will you kill me quickly? You bring down your sword on the monster. With a final word of thanks, you need to go to the mayor's residence and find whatever this truth is that you must know. You unlock the door of a quick search turns up a stair. Trollis points down and asks. Pulka mutters. Legol's eyes are fixed ahead. You swallow hard and then gingerly take the first step down the stairs to the basement. You make your way down the stairs. As you make your way through the dark, the words of the scarred monster come back to you. The monsters were just like you, living in their town. The thought sticks in your mind as you make your way forward. Before you know it, you've found your way into a cold, unnatural-looking passage. Having heard your muttering, Polka speaks up. Trollis hums pensively. Her head, Legol says nothing. The ruins looming before you elicit a gasp. Huge, elaborate stone structures dot the area, their shapes completely unfamiliar to your eye. What are those? Asks Troll. You and your friends continue to make your way through the ruins, overcome all the while by the imposing unknown structures. As you make your way through the ruins, seeing this, Legol nonchalantly takes hold of Polka's sleeve. Perhaps there are white lines painted in a striped pattern along the lines cut off, and you discover someone standing where they terminate. We'll have trouble if it tells its friends we're here. Come on, says Legol. The monster tries to flee, but you and your friends attack. Get us. I'm sorry, Mother, the creature says. Another monster with a mother. At this, Trollis pipes up. Now that she mentions it, you do feel as though you've heard a different monster mention a mother. You say that you think you heard it at the mine, but Legol disagrees. No, I don't think it was there. You say you think you heard it at the Lake of Fire, but Polka disagrees. I don't you remember. The Polka frowns. He goes on to point out the possibility his mother might well be deeper within these ruins. All of you agree to proceed with utmost caution. Along the path, you suggest it could be some kind of Polka looks at the boxy iron contrivance and mumbles something about its workings being much more complex than a mine cart or a sand skiff. Beautiful. Expected. To battle. beautiful. Sometimes you get lucky. The monster offers a warning. But you find it a bit rich to hear a comment like that, given the source. Nonetheless, it doesn't seem to be hostile, so you decide to do as it says and steer clear. I expected nothing less. Suddenly, the small box releases a blinding flash of light. You heed Legol's words and dive to the ground. But perhaps it only emits light, murmurs Polka. Legol's face flushes, and he stares at the ground, suddenly very interested in a particular loose pebble. A figure that looks hewn from iron stands in silent vigil. You and your friends take a few ginger steps forward. The creature rattles and clanks. Without a moment's delay, the four of you draw your weapons and prepare to fight. With several whirring buzz, a close look at the figure reveals that not only is it, despite no longer moving, the thing continues. Nuterra truly is amazing. A profound sense of just how much you've yet to see wells up within you. That's how it's done.